Hello, my darlings. Do you get irritated every time I start this? I don't have my water. Do you get irritated every time I start the vlogs and then I giggle? Because I get really irritated with myself, okay? I don't know why I do that. Although typically I'm a giggler and a laugher anyway, but I want to be more sort of sophisticated, but I can't seem to pull it off no matter how hard I try. Anyway, I forgot to bring a glass of water, and as soon as I start talking, I get like all, dry mouth and dry throat. But we'll try to get through it without, and then I will get the water for the next one. Listen, you guys, I was over on The View this morning uncharacteristically. I don't characteristically frequent The View these days, but somehow it was fed to me. I don't know how come, it was just fed to me. They were talking about Meghan on something called The Weekend View. Are you aware of The Weekend View? I'd never heard of it before. It must be something new because when I lived in the US, I don't think they had a Weekend View, right? So that must be new. But anyway, they were talking about Meghan and her cooking show. And one of the hosts, I don't even know her name, she was basically trying to, she's a hater, obviously. And she was basically saying that Meghan is out of touch, that her show is tone deaf, the usual that the haters are saying online. So she's basically just parroting what has been said online about Meghan and her cute little escapism show. And I just thought, and I left a few comments. Some of them probably went a little bit overboard, which is why I like to sort of manage my exposure to these people because they take me there. They take me there, right? And so she took me there. And so I started a whole bunch of comments. I mean, some of them I'm sure they're going to block. It was so horrible. It was so not my sort of Zen self. And I basically said, look, I mean, her Meghan's big sin, and I do believe this, that her biggest sin was upstaging, outshining, and outmarrying heifers and their bulls in the global zeitgeist, right? These are heifers. A lot of these women hate Meghan, and starting in the royal family, because she just outshined them. She outdressed them. She upstaged them, and in their view, she outmarried them. The only catch that was bigger than Harry was supposed to be William. But it turns out that William, it was all a sham. I mean, William is no match for Harry. William, with Harry, and I just did an article in the community section about that, how, William was never superior to Harry and Kate was never superior to Meghan. It was a construct. You see, they created this construct, and Harry was really the workhorse in that royal family. He's the idea man doing all of these different projects, and William sort of, was the front, the face of it, and Harry was sort of relegated to the back because of the protocols and the traditions in this sort of very ancient institution. And so Harry's wife was expected to play the same role with William's wife, Kate. And look, no offense to Kate, I don't mean to be unkind to her, but she just doesn't light a candle to Meghan. With Meghan gone, her biggest achievement was her cancer, um, whatever that even, what would you call that? I mean, it was something that got her and Kensington Palace compared to North Korea and Iran. It was just very, I think, very controversial. And to this day, what has come of it? It's not even like she had all this advocacy for people with cancer or anything to show that anything positive came of it. What is that? Oh, okay. Um, it's my set. My set is, it's everything together. So I have to be more mindful and move some things before I start my camera. But you know, I digress. Kate, with all her built-in sort of like privileges, in the end, she just didn't measure up to the force of nature that Meghan just is. And, they were hiding behind Meghan and Harry. And I think they thought they would ride this to the very end. And while riding behind Meghan and Harry or hiding behind them, I mean, they're the face of the monarchy, but really they're using Meghan and Harry as a buffer, right? And William started to do that long before Meghan came on the scene, and he just thought he would continue once Meghan arrived because he was doing that with his brother, using Harry as a buffer, painting Harry as this bad boy, this, whatever. And William is the good guy. He's the achiever. He's doing this, he's doing that. It was all Harry. Harry's ideas, Harry's projects, Harry's energy, Harry's charisma. They were using that and milking that young man of all that he was to benefit the monarchy, William in particular. Once Harry and Meghan left, it is my view that that whole thing came tumbling down and they were completely exposed, which is why they were so panicked. Not so much about Meghan leaving, because I think they felt like, Harry staying and getting another wife would continue the status quo. The problem really was Meghan. Meghan was not the status quo, not for them, not for Harry. Meghan changed the whole game, right? And so, you know, she outshined them and upstaged them, and together with Harry, yeah, they upstaged the entire monarchy, right? And they could no longer control. Once that came out of the bag, it was impossible to control, the behemoth that Meghan and Harry actually are. So then they sort of put this out to the rest of the zeitgeist. And of course, you're going to find a lot of people in society who have their own biases, they have their own issues. For a lot of women, you know, getting the best catch there is their life's goal. I mean, that's their biggest accomplishment, is to find that man, that husband who is to them, the thing or the person that makes them, respectable and makes them somebody, makes them important, makes them matter, makes them count. And so the men of the British aristocracy, certainly the direct heirs to the throne in England in particular, are the top of the hierarchy. I mean, every mother and father would want their daughter to marry one of these men. I mean, Harry was a catch. I mean, he was somebody to get, right? And so by getting Harry, Meghan upstaged them, she outshined them, she outmarried them, and with her beautiful wardrobe, she even outdressed them. And believe me, that might sound trivial, but for women in particular, men, clothes don't really matter for men as much, I don't think. But for women, your clothes, your wardrobe is the whole thing. Every first lady, every movie star, your wardrobe, you're judged by even Kate Middleton. I mean, the only thing she really is known for outside of her cancer and the controversies with the photos and so on is her wardrobe, right? It's unfortunately that's what women are relegated to even in 2025 in the world, is like, how does she look? And so clothes really make a woman. And in that regard, Meghan outdressed them all on top of it. So she outshined them, she upstaged them, she outmarried them, and she outdressed them. And so then what you have is these heifers. I call them heifers because it's like they're a bunch of cows. Perhaps that's not very kind, but I can't think of a better sort of metaphor. That was bad. They're heifers. These are heifers, right? And they're bulls in the fields hating on this beautiful young calf, which is Meghan. Because, yes, Meghan is perennially, perpetually, and forever young. There's something youthful about her. And some people are like that, they're just youthful. I'm like that. I'm very, I tell my mom all the time, I'm forever young. My mom is not much older than I am, but she has herself like she's 98. Look, darling, no, you're young forever, okay? I believe in that. And I think Meghan embodies that. And so these women of all ages, whether they're younger than she is or older than she is, they're these heifers in the fields. They hate her because, I mean, black, white, pink, and striped, it crosses all boundaries. I mean, they hate her because she has outshined them, she's outmarried them, she's upstaged them, and she has outdressed them. So I said something to that effect on the view, among other choice words, because I'm fed up. Listen, you guys, I'm making lunch. I'm going to have some pasta. So I'm going to stop this one here. Have myself something to drink, like some water. Don't worry. Water. I decided no more wine for the entire year. I stopped having wine last year for no reason. I don't have a problem with it, except that I'm convinced that it makes me gain weight. Like, I mean, it doesn't help my figure. So I've decided that I'm not, because I live in France. I mean, wine is a part of dinner every night, not in my home, but in the culture, it seems. But it's not a part of the culture that I like. I don't know why I brought that up. So I'm going to have some water and, some tea, something like that, some lunch, and then maybe I'll give you another one if you are a good boy or girl, okay? Listen, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, hit the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and please, whatever you do, subscribe to the channel and support the channel and help me out with these algorithms that give me absolutely no love. Okay, my darlings? Yeah, so see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.